So giant geckos have been a freaking staple.
How was a good start?
All right. So giant geckos have been a staple in our TikisGeckos business for a long time. And I wanted to show you guys some of our collection. The giant geckos are definitely one of my favorite animals because of how colorful they can be. And of course their size. Now, if I could just get these guys out of here. So this is the female here. These are Nuana giant geckos, and if you're familiar with the localities, this is actually the smallest locality, them and the Nuamis. That girl is about to shed, but this boy here is one of my favorite Nuana animals I have. Check out how bright yellow that belly is, and just his overall coloration throughout his whole body is pretty impressive. This is the classic blotching from the Nuana with the black peppering inside the white blotches. This girl, unfortunately, she's shedding right now, but she has a very bright lime green base coloration with that same white blotching and black peppering. Definitely one of the most beautiful of the Leachianis, but definitely not the biggest. This is about as big as they get. 120, 200 grams is the absolute max I've ever heard of a Nuana. This is how they should be right here. So let's put these guys back. I want to show you guys another pair that I have that is of high pattern animals. This next pair I put together to produce the highest pattern animals available. So this is the male here. So check this guy out. He has some amazing coloring, a lot of blotching all across his body. So this is the GTB. It's a pure GT, but it's the B locality. They don't get as big as the type A, but they are, you know, very colorful and they have a lot of blotching. Definitely one of my favorite animals in my collection. Just the coloring is insane. And this female here is a GT mixed with a Nuana. And she just has some insane blotching as well. Look how much blotching she has all across her body. Now, she isn't as clean as some of like the pure Nuana stuff. You could see there's just a ton of blotching, a lot of like yellowish coloration on this guy, or this girl, I should say. And the reason why I put these guys together is to produce those high pattern animals. She's a little bit of a spaz, but definitely, you know, one of my more high patterned animals. And this is how we set their enclosures up. I like to put a lot of cork bark. As you can see, she was hiding in here. The cork rounds are like a must for lychee. They just love to, you know, jam themselves in the cork round. That's how they feel they're safest. And of course I go in here and pull them out, but you know, this is how we house. For them to lay eggs, we give them one of these little pots, and the females typically go in here. They'll dig on here and lay the eggs in there and cover it up. So it's pretty easy. This is what's been working for us for the past couple of years with the lychees. This next pair is bred for high colorations. They're also GT Nuana mixes, and this is the male right here, and he is just high pinks, high purples, that really nice light green background color. And then the female is actually a little bit more impressive. And this is the female here. She also has a lot of bright coloration. The background green is a staple with these guys, obviously, but what changes are those pink blotches. As you can see, these guys don't have the peppering that the Nuanas have, but a lot of these are Nuana, you know, mixes, because the Nuanas and the Nuamis tend to have the highest color. And I mean, just look at these guys. I absolutely love the high color stuff, the pink, the purple. I think it's the most attractive stuff when it comes to the Leachianis. The patterns are just unreal. Look at this one. This one's a little bit more purple. This one's more pinkish red. You can really see the difference when you put them side by side like that. But this pair has produced some amazing animals. I actually have a lot of babies that I've sold from this pair. A lot of holdbacks as well. So I'm excited to see, you know, in the next couple of years, how the babies turn out in 3 to 4, you know, years. Because I've only bred these for 2 years now. Now this pair here are my Nuamis. These are 2 pure Nuamis. And as you can see, they have super high pattern. Now these guys have the most pattern out of any Nuami I've ever seen. Just the amount of blotching and the color is unreal. I actually like these guys better when they're not fired up because their background is like a lime green, super light lime green. It just makes those blotches stick out even more. But these guys have been producing some super nice babies. Honestly, they're like one of my favorite pairs, at least how much they produce. She's a little spaz. Amazing geckos. Alright guys, and when it comes to Leachianis, there doesn't get much better than this GT Leachianis. These are the highest, most biggest leachies you could get. As you can see over here, this girl is paired up with another huge male that's right here. And I'm really taking a risk just putting my hand in here and picking them up because they could be very territorial. And a lot of times, they will just lunge out and try to bite you. But these guys, they've been pretty used to me and I handle them pretty often, so they haven't ever tried to bite me or anything. And especially when you get them outside, they are gonna be very tame. But this guy here is one of my pure GTs. This guy comes from raspberry lines from their big boy Gator. And Gator is about like 15 inches long. As you can see, this guy is closing in on that. He is very big. And this female here, I got her from Rob, and she comes from their Lucifer. And oh, let me get her out here. Looks like she got a little bite mark right here. But she comes from Lucifer and Ice Queen. So they're both massive geckos, the biggest geckos I have. These guys could get up to 500 grams on their largest size, on their largest, you know, end of the spectrum. Now, these are probably around 350 to 400 grams, but there are some monsters out there that will get to 500 grams. Now, they're not as common, but they're out there. And when it comes to geckos, obviously, this is the largest species, and at this size, they really do require a lot more protein. So you could feed them baby chicks, you know, like little quails. You could feed them little fuzzy mouse, or just big roaches, hornworms, and a lot of the crested gecko diet that they do eat also. Leachianis, when you're breeding them, they can be rough with each other. As you can see right here on her shoulder, looks like she got a pretty gnarly bite from this guy. And this is new to me. I actually just see this right now. It's not out of the norm for the males and the females to have little arguments and them rip each other's tails off or even lock jaws. I've shown in our YouTube videos before. Now this girl here, you know, they're still getting along. They gave me some eggs last year, 2 perfect babies hatched, and I'm hoping that this year they stay, you know, on good terms and they give me more babies. When it comes to Leachianis, it doesn't get much better than this, and this is probably like the crown jewels of my Leachianis collection, so that's why I left them for last. If you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you subscribe. We will be doing more updates, and keep in mind that if you are looking to get extra content, exclusive access to other videos, and some early discount codes and things like that, make sure you join our community and you get a membership with our YouTube channel, because we are doing a ton of giveaways this year and we're super excited to keep expanding on our YouTube and all of our other social media. So thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one.